mingled appointing, we lay our future in thy hands. United free for liberty, together we'll always stand. Please be seated. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to today's press conference. Today, the 22nd of February, marks exactly 7 months since we unveiled the National Unity Platform to the nation and its new leadership. Because we did that on 22nd of July 2020. And so 7 months down the road, incredible things have happened. We thank God for the great milestones that we've been able to achieve in a time so short, because we had about 2-3 months to get set for the election itself. But lots of things have been able to happen. But also in these 7 months, there's been mountains to climb, there's been challenges that we have been faced with. Many of them we anticipated anyway. Some have been shockers. We, yes, expected the regime to come at us, but in some cases we didn't expect it to be as evil as it has turned out to be. But 7 months down the road, we are stronger than ever before. We are a lot more resolute than we did begin out, because we know that what we are pursuing, the change of leadership, and for that matter, transformation of our country, is number one, legal, and two, it is the right thing to do. And so we are not going to back down. There are those who thought that within a very short while we shall have fizzled out. Right from the time of People Power as a movement, said it is a wind which is blowing, it is going to pass. And there's a wind which passed, but for us we remained around. And so we are here to stay until ultimately we achieve that which we are pursuing, change of leadership and transformation of our country. I'm going to invite our President to address us, His Excellency Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert. Please come.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and again we thank you, members of the press, for always responding to our call promptly. We don't take that for granted, ladies and gentlemen. As we speak, right now, abductions are going on. We receive reports of our comrades that are being abducted, while we continue to search for those. Some have been found gravely tortured, others have showed up dead, while others have been charged illegally in court-martials and released. We are not giving up. We continue to condemn such acts, and we call upon the people of Uganda not to relent on their demand, because we know that those that have been released, it has been because of the non-stop demand for their unconditional release. Our comrades, Nubian Lee and many others, continue to be illegally incarcerated in Chitalia. I want to update the nation that we filed challenging their unconstitutional trial in the court-martial because they are civilians. And tomorrow there's going to be a hearing to the same. But again, we also want to inform you that we have also filed for their bail in the High Court of Uganda. We hope that the courts will deliver justice in that matter. In the same breath, ladies and gentlemen, I want to sympathize with the journalists that were recently brutalized by the military while we were delivering a petition at the United Nations Human Rights Office here in Kololo. Condemn that, but again we continue to condemn the lies, the deliberate lies and twisting of facts by the spokespersons of the police and the military. I saw the spokesperson of the military desperately trying to deny the facts that were covered on camera. For example, a fact like one Napoleon Namanya was commanding those people that beat up journalists, and indeed he personally beat up our Member of Parliament elected for Machingi, Honorable Nyeko Derrick, and he also beat John Cliff Wamala, at least he himself. But as usual, here in Uganda, there are those that have license to commit crimes because they know that they have scapegoats. We saw the people that were paraded for trial, and it was laughable. Ladies and gentlemen, we invited you here today to inform you about our decision on election petition number 1 2021, where I am challenging the purported victory of General Museveni. I want to remind you that we were skeptical about going to court. There were two schools of thought. One held the firm belief that going to the courts, to the Supreme Court to challenge the Museveni election was a waste of time because these were cadre judges. The institution of the judiciary had been reduced to a mere mockery. But again, there was also another school of thought which we agreed with, that much as the judiciary has been reduced to a mockery, it's an institution that we believe in, while we might not believe in the people that are pretending over it. And yes, we went, like I told you, we went to the Supreme Court to get two things: either to get justice or to have opportunity to expose the judiciary. But as you all have been following, even before we could expose the judiciary decided to expose itself. The world has been watching the biased tendencies. You have seen the bias and double standards that have been exposed by the judiciary, but in particular the Supreme Court. You all remember that we were blocked from filing our election petition on a Saturday. But when the NRM lawyers went to the Supreme Court, they were actually allowed to file a response to our petition on a Saturday. That is double standard number one. Just a few days after we had filed our petition, you all saw, we watched in shock as the Chief Justice invited the respondent, General Museveni, to a lawyer's meeting. But not only did he invite him, but you all watched the statements that the Chief Justice made before General Museveni. The Chief Justice was asking for some favors and was asking General Museveni to do some things in the capacity of president a year from now, thereby deliberately declaring that he had a predetermined mind, thereby communicating to the nation that according to him, Museveni would be president next year, even when he had a petition before him. We had observed and indeed raised our voices on the uncomfortable closeness of the Chief Justice with General Museveni. And not only the Chief Justice, but various justices, the Supreme Court. You are aware that since we petitioned the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice has met President Museveni 3 times. 3 times. Now this is an arbiter in a matter who is meeting one party, who is meeting a defendant 3 times before they adjudicate this matter. We think that is wrong. We condemned it and continue to condemn it. I've already mentioned about the statements that Justice Owiny Dollo made before General Museveni. And indeed, he went ahead in one of those meetings to present a budget to the defendant. Now here is a situation where the judge in a matter where Museveni is a defendant is actually asking for money from Museveni. We think that is not only immoral, but that is wrong. Now, following that, you all remember, ladies and gentlemen, that I was put under illegal house arrest for 11 days after the election. And yet, according to our laws, an aggrieved party is supposed to file a petition within 15 days. Now, out of those 15 days, I was under house arrest for 11